What a lot of people probably didn't realise until a recent court case is how good at making stuff up ChatGPT is. You may have heard about this case. It's been reported as lawyer submits stuff made up by ChatGPT. That's not quite right. There are actually 2 lawyers and, well, last count 4 law firms and a judge involved. Let's talk about what's actually happened and look at some of the court documents. One thing that people often don't mention is what the court case is actually about. The court case is between Mata and Avianca Inc. The heart of the case is personal injury. The allegation is that on a flight attendant was pushing a trolley down an aisle and it hit somebody in the left knee, causing them personal injury. This case was taken up by a firm of lawyers, Levidow Oberman, but what happened was it shifted court. The first lawyer to work on this was Stephen A. Schwartz, but then the case moved to another court. The way the US system works is that lawyers are admitted to the bar in certain areas and can only speak to certain courts. So another lawyer in the firm, Peter LoDuca, actually presented the case, but all the research was done by the first lawyer. On 1st of March, LoDuca submitted a document basically arguing the case. This is what lawyers do. So it's a long document saying these are the arguments and specifically these are the laws and the existing cases which support why I have a claim. The document was prepared by Schwartz, and as letter documents say, LoDuca, they assumed it was fine, and Schwartz used ChatGPT. So this document referenced a whole bunch of cases and had citations for them and details for them. It's really quite detailed. Where things started to get weird was on March the 15th, when the opposition lawyers that read the March 1st document went, hold on, we can't find some of these cases. So it starts off with one particular case, Varghese, I think it's called, which itself references a bunch of cases, but they start with this one and say, the undersigned has not been able to locate this case by caption or citation, nor any case bearing any resemblance to it. And goes on to say, the plaintiff offers lengthy quotations purportedly from the case. So ChatGPT didn't just make up a case, it made up entire quotations from the 11th Circuit. It just said, this judge said these things. No, the judge never said the things. The case doesn't exist. On April the 11th and 12th, the judge wrote to LoDuca and said, send us a copy of these cases. And then it got even worse. On April the 25th, the lawyers sent the cases, went, here they are, look, we've got copies of them. Well, some of them, it gets in a bit of detail, it kind of goes, so this case that we quoted from the 11th Circuit, the quote is correct, but it's from a different case. And they say, oh, this case we can't actually find. On April 26th, the second set of lawyers wrote back and went, no, we really can't find these cases. They checked this, so there's often 2 standard things in US law, LexisNexis and Westlaw, and if cases aren't in there, it's pretty likely, if it's a major case, it just doesn't exist. On May the 4th, the judge wrote to LoDuca and said, the court is presented with an unprecedented circumstance. A submission filed by the plaintiff's counsel in opposition to a motion to dismiss is replete with citations to non-existent cases. On May 25th, then, the 2 original lawyers put in a submission. Schwartz also writes and goes, yeah, I used ChatGPT. And it's interesting because they say, not only did ChatGPT tell me this stuff, it basically said, no, I'm not lying. Is it, hey, ChatGPT, are you lying? No. They also say that it's now been revealed that the source was unreliable. Schwartz also says that they were unaware of the possibility that the content could be false. It's like, you've literally not read anything about ChatGPT and the veracity of the stuff it produces. The latest thing, May 26th, the court has issued a thing called an order to show cause to LoDuca, and what LoDuca has to prove is why the court shouldn't hold them as breaching 3 different sets of rules. The third being the inherent power of the court for the use of false and fraudulent notarization in the affidavit. So LoDuca is ordered to turn up to the court at noon on the 8th of June 2023. So that's when we'll see the latest in what's happening with this case. This is one of these things which often happens with new technologies, that users make lots of assumptions about how they operate, and they're used in circumstances based on those assumptions. And it often takes a very difficult case to show to the wider world the limits of those technologies. So it's instructive for everyone. This doesn't mean you shouldn't ever use ChatGPT. It means, in some ways, this is saying ChatGPT is very like Wikipedia in that, or any source, it's a single source. You should always check multiple sources. So what do you think? Has this changed the way that you think about ChatGPT? Has it changed the way that you use ChatGPT? Are you now rejecting the use of it? Or are you embracing it? Or did you always know? Put your thoughts in the comments below.